he's not been in doubt for 58 years.
Wow.
But then he says, but now that may have been Buford's tale. May have been Buford's tale. It's your brother-in-law, married to your sister. You never approached him in no form, fashion, or way for abusing your sister. You never, but all of a sudden you're in doubt and you don't stand up. You don't stand up to these guys and girl there and say, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a minute. Because if you did believe it, why didn't you say something 58 years ago when they could have put Buford in jail? Why didn't you say something when they could have put him before a grand jury or in prison?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you wait till 58 years later when you're easily intimidated and influenced?
Yeah.
Why is that? But it could have been Buford's tale. You can't stand up for yourself for what you feel's right rather than what you're guided to do. Let's say you had 4 more people in that living room, 4 more people on the other side that says, we never seen it. We've never seen Pauline Buford mistreat her. We've never seen. Then what would happen? You got 4 and 4. How bad are you? Which side do you take then now that you got somebody there to stand up with you instead of feeling like you're outnumbered? Would it change your mind any? Would you go back to saying, I never did see it, guys. I never saw nothing. Had I saw anything, I would have said something 58 years ago. It's just not there. Buford said they were after him hot. And a month later, he's shot. His wife's killed. They were after him hot. He knew what he was talking about. After him hot. That was Buford's words. He knew what he was talking about. Go ahead.
One thing I like to mention too, I just thought of right
Okay.
there, was how he was talking about how Buford didn't take up for Pauline, I guess against the father, his dad,
Carl,
Buford,
yeah.
Carl. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, how come he didn't take up for Pauline if it was so bad? How come he didn't step
Wow.
up and take up for her?
Wow. Oh, God, my back's hurting.
I mean, he was dogging and acting like Mr. Pusser didn't take up for her, stand up for her against his dad. So,
Take a break. We'll come back
oh,
this.
are you okay?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to come back this.
There we go.
Hey, guys, we're back. I had to take a break. My back started spasming.
Bless his heart.
We had to stretch a little bit and get us a snack. We're this is probably in the video number 4 by now. You're probably on. And we were talking,
Mhm.
Sheila and I was, when we took the break. Sheila brought up a wonderful point, and it's so true.
Yeah.
And that is the fact that Mr. Mr. Mullins was talking earlier and said Buford just wouldn't take up for Pauline. Now, he says that he knew that Pauline, in the front of the video, probably the first video, he says that he knew that Buford's dad, Carl, was mistreating Pauline.
Yeah.
And that Buford just wouldn't, one of the detectives said, and Buford wouldn't take up for her. No, Buford wouldn't even take up for her. Well, Sheila had a wonderful point there.
Yeah. I asked the question if he always talked about Buford not taking Pauline's side against his dad and mother. Why isn't he taking Pauline's side against the agents or
Where was
anybody else?
Mr. Mullins
Where
at?
was
Where was Big Brother at? Where was the glue of the family
yeah.
at? The glue that kept everybody together. Where was he at? Why didn't he go jump on Big Carl and say, Carl, what are you treating my sister like that for? Carl,
Mhm.
Buford, why are you letting your dad treat my sister like that?
Mm.
Do you think that there's 2 things here? If Mr. Mullins really believed that Carl was mistreating Pauline and that Buford wasn't taking up for Pauline, why didn't Mr. Mullins take up for her? 2 things. Either he didn't believe that, he never heard that, he just made that up when the TBI was there, or he wimped out. He may not be the glue that he thought he was. If he knows that his sister's been mistreated, I go through a brick wall over my sisters.
Blood's thicker than water.
Where was he at? Where was brother at? That Phyllis says that Pauline always went to
him.
To Griffon. Griffon was the one that he went to. Where was he at? Did he let her down? Did he let her down, or is he just going along with? Because I don't think he let her down. I'm going to go ahead and take up for Griffon Mullins, because me and Sheila was talking on break, and that's what Sheila done. So I'm going to go with Sheila's part. We don't think Griffon didn't take up for his sister, because we don't think it happened. We don't think Griffon was ever told that Pauline was abused. We don't think Griffon was ever said to anything about Carl cussing at her, putting her down, didn't think she was good enough for the family. And Buford wouldn't stand up for it. We don't believe that, because if that was true, Griffon would have stood up for his sister. And if he didn't stand up for his sister, how does he sleep at night?
Yeah.
If he knows that and knew that then, and he didn't do anything. Good question, babe. Good comment.
Thank you. Here we go.
How would he shoot himself, even if he pulled that?
There are some theories, but again, they're theories. And again, like I said, we're operating in the middle of there's these two polar opposite stories. Either this ambush actually happened, or it didn't, and then either there's a domestic situation between Buford and Buford.
I don't think, in my own opinion, I think he'd have just told Pauline to leave, as abusive as they was to her.
There you go.
Oh, but he changes. He changes them back. Oh. They get on him here in a little bit. They change his mind back. They convince him otherwise. Now, there's his true opinion. There's his honest opinion. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that it happened. I think Buford would just
send her home.
After what he says, I think he would just brought her home. Wow. Sent her home, brought her home. He wouldn't have done nothing to her. And then they start in. But now remember, they're not partial either way. They're in the middle, because it could go either way. Yeah. Y'all keep believing that. For the ones that believe that, go ahead.
I just can't see him.
But now Carl's real controlling, though. You think maybe she felt a little helpless, like she couldn't leave. And then now,
guys, if you've ever seen intimidation, if you've ever seen anything dealing with a police investigation where they're leading or coercing you, this is it. This is it. But what about? But what about Carl being mean to her? What about that? This is not detective work, guys. This is a game of charades. This is a game of you come up with your whatever it is you got, because you're 90 years old, and then I'll throw something back at you, and let's see how fast you can spin that in your brain and come back. Because, see, Griffon don't want to let his sister down. Griffon's thinking that this is four officials in his living room. And if they're standing there saying this and that, Griffon don't realize that they're there for publicity, that they're narcissists, that they're there for publicity stunt, that they're there so their supervisors and them can get on a stage and stand someday and say, Buford Pusser killed his wife. Name, fame, and notoriety, fortune. Griffon said he don't believe it could happen. And then the detective says, oh, but wait a minute now. What about old Carl? Let's see what he says about Carl. Let's see here what something comes up here in a minute. You got something, babe?
A few minutes ago, before that, he said it wasn't one-sided.
Yeah. Babe, that's talking into history.
Wow.
They can say anything that they can tell you. I got a whole head full of hair.
Sheep's what? Yeah.
They can tell you that. It's what's right here. It's what kind of integrity they got and character. They can tell you he told a woman the other day that he wasn't taping her.
Yes. And he also said that if it gets out, they wouldn't be telling it.
If it gets out, it won't come from us. We're sitting here listening to the tapes. We're going over the tapes with you guys. He told her this will never get out. This is confidential.
No one will ever know.
Anything. No one will ever know. Here we are watching the tapes, listening to their tapes. Truth. All we want's the truth.
This is sad.
You couldn't get out of that.
The day that
You still see women in that today that can't get out of these relationships.
Oh, yeah.
right, oh yeah.
And
Pauline-
Lisa sees that.
Pauline could, yeah.
It doesn't matter what we see women in today that can't get out of it. That doesn't mean that's what Pauline was in then.
Mm-hmm.
That's comparing apples and oranges, guys. That's putting a guilt trip. That's trying to plant that seed, as Sheila says, in his mind that, well, it happens to women all the time. Had to happen to Pauline. I think he was making an interesting comment right then. I hope I didn't.
So if it happens to women all the time, it had to happen to Pauline. What about Mr. Griffin's wife? Does it happen
Yeah.
to her?
Yeah, good question. Does it happen to Mr. Parsons?
Oh, yeah,
Does it happen to Mr. Parsons' wife, him and his wife?
yeah.
Because I like to throw this back at Davison, Parson, Roush, all these people, Mike Elam, Dennis Hathcott, Oakley Baldwin. Throw it back at them. It's
sad.
okay for us to say, Buford killed his wife. Buford beat his wife. Buford broke his wife's nose. Does any of these guys' wives have broken noses? Do they have any broken fingers or anything that Sheila's got a messed up knee? Actually, I did do that.
Well, technically, but I was going up for my brown belt. I stepped in, blocked him, and then threw him onto the
She's
mat.
going to do a
But my knee didn't
judo
go with
flip on
me.
me. Her
So,
knee didn't, her foot didn't twist.
No.
Her knee did.
yeah.
So,
was-
but anyway, ask yourself, guys, if this was Mr. Parsons, if you ever see Mr. Parsons out in a restaurant or somewhere, especially if he's carrying a newspaper, ask him how much money he's got wrote up in that newspaper, because she told him a story the other day about Buford with the newspaper. And he said, yeah, he had to get paid off or whatever he said.
Pay him first.
So if you ever see Mr. Parsons detective with the newspaper, ask him how much money he's got wrote up in there. And if you ever see him out with his wife, ask his wife how many times a week he beats her, because it happens all the time. Domestics happen all the time. So it would be fair probably in asking any of these guys, ask their wives, how many times a week or a month they beat their wives, because it happens so much. They have to be part of the percentage that does it. According to them, according to what he said,
Yeah.
you got to add yourself in there too. Nobody's exempt. Go ahead.
Out of it. That's what I'm saying. She could have went out to live with mom and dad. She could come live with us, or any of her brothers and sisters would have been glad to. I just don't.
But the morning she got shot,
Stop. She could have come and lived with any of us. Buford could have
Mhm.
took them to any of her, and she could have come and lived. And she knew that. She knew that. Hey guys, she was going home that morning. If they're going on vacation that morning and she's going home to Jack
Mhm.
and her mother, all she had to do was get up there and say, hey, Buford, I think I'm going to stay here for a while. That's all she had to do. He was taking her home.
Mhm.
They were going on vacation.
Mm-mm.
Why would he do that on the morning that they're leaving to go on vacation? You know why,
They were
guys. It
getting
don't add
ready
up.
to go to Virginia on vacation.
And we have heard that. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
well,
we definitely.
That was
that
true.
is a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact. And Pauline's
Now, go ahead.
She said that is a fact. They were going on vacation, so that debunks everything in the past.
But you ain't done yet. He's not done. He's going to ask her, how do you know that? Well, that's what we were told. Oh, well, that don't mean it's true.
Are you serious?
Listen to what comes. Now, she said she's standing up for her. She's standing her ground.
That's a fact. She said.
Phyllis says, that's a fact, Jack. We're not going to have that. We can't go that route. We've got to point you in another direction, dear. You're on the wrong train here. Go ahead.
said she got up to go with him, aimed to go with him, and he said no. He said, you just stay here and get ready, and I'll be right back. She said no. She said I think I'll go with you, because she said if you get out, she said you'll never get back and we'll never get started.
But I guess
See?
you did not hear that from Pauline.
No, we did not hear that from Pauline.
So again, that's where I'm going. Is like Pauline did not tell you.
No.
So
she didn't
She
tell me
did
that
that.
personally,
Yeah.
That's just hearsay.
but that was what we heard
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
she said.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with.
Now, this detective didn't ask who told her that. He didn't ask who told her that. Had he asked her, who told you that? And she says, well, Buford told me that. Well, you could throw it and say, well, okay, if Buford told her that, he's probably just covering. Guys, she didn't say Buford told her that. He didn't give her a chance to tell him who told her that, but who did she say come and live with her? Who did she say she took care of? Who did she say she fed and watered? And who did he say he went and rented an apartment for and got married and stayed up there? Who did they say? Diane. Diane. Who did Pauline supposedly go wake up that morning and say, hey, Buford's got a call. I'm going with him. We'll be back in a little bit. Correct, Sheila?
Exactly.
Where do you think Phyllis heard that at, guys? Now, the detective's not going to ask her because he don't want that answer. Well, Diane told me. Because as long as he can keep everybody thinking that Buford told her that, then we can point the finger at Buford. Of course, if Buford was involved in some kind of bad something, we're going to think he's just covering himself. Buford didn't tell her that. Diane told Phyllis that. Phyllis didn't get a chance to answer that.
Also, he said, well, that's hearsay. But so is what Teresa and Tammy are saying.
Ain't that the truth?
They weren't there.
God.
He took their word for it, and he said, "Well, he didn't ask them if they were there."
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
It's okay for Teresa and Tammy, criminal records, everything else, but it's okay for people to say things like that. And he says, I trust you. I trust Dennis Hathcock. I trust. But you've got Phyllis here. I don't know if she's got a criminal history or not. We'll try to check and see. I kind of doubt it. They sound like pretty good people.
Sure.
No criminal history. If I was going to trust anybody, I believe this would be the person that I trust.
Oh my.
Guys, what you look for is the follow-up questions. It's not the original question. It's not the original comeback. It's the follow-up. As a detective, where did you hear that from? Mike Elam says that he heard that Pauline was a stripper, a go-go dancer when she was in Chicago. Where'd you hear that at, Mike? I can't remember, but I heard it. Where'd you hear that at? I can't remember. I don't know. Why not ask her? Why not ask Phyllis? Phyllis, where'd you hear that at? And then if she says, Buford told me, say, okay, we'll see. Buford's who we're investigating. But I have a feeling that Phyllis would have said, Diane told me. When Diane come here to live, she lived with us. Remember? She come here to stay with us. Diane told us her mom got her up that morning and said, Buford, we'll never get back out of here if I don't go with them.
He gets started talking and he'll take all day.
Buford gets started talking and he'll be there all day. I'm going with your daddy. I'll be back in a little bit. She told Diane that. Buford wasn't in there. Buford was already either getting ready to go on the call or getting in the car or waiting on how you'll get in the car and wait on your wife forever. He's probably out waiting in the car. I'm going to tell Diane I'm going with you. Okay, hurry up. Diane, I'm going with your daddy. He's got a call out. I'll be back in a little bit. If I don't go, he'll be all day. We know we'll get on the road. Who else would she tell it to? Mike's young.
Right.
DeWanda's asleep. She's too young.
Right.
She's
Diane's
6
like
years old.
17.
Yeah, Diane's 16.
Is she 16?
Yeah, 16 or 17.
Yeah.
So she told Diane. Makes sense? Nobody else is in the house. Mike Elam can't say, well, she didn't tell LaVon. Well, she didn't tell Ricky. She didn't tell. No, she told Diane. And Diane told Phyllis. Now, Phyllis either is intimidated right now. She doesn't want to say, well, Diane's the one told me. She was there. Or she just don't want to argue about it because you can tell here comes Mike back at her. He's throwing it at her head on. We said a while ago, I wonder how they would have acted had at the end of the day,
Wow.
had Mr. Mullins said, no, I'm not going to sign nothing to dig her back up. Can you hear them then? Well, we'll do it without you. We'll go get a court order. We don't need you. We can do it without you. Can you imagine? This woman here is 80 or 90 also. She's up there with Griffon. Listen how he snapped back at her. Go ahead, let's finish it.
Wow.
With you.
Yeah.
Because you will never get back.
That was,
Because I will tell you that is a story, but then there's also a story that was also Pauline that we've heard trying to get away because she was trying to get back to Virginia with the brothers or the family.
Now, how much sense does that make, guys? Hold on, Sheila. How much sense does that make? That's Mike Elam's story. That's where Mike Elam says she was wearing two sets of clothing out every day, trying to get her clothes out of the house. My Lord, put your suitcase out back and grab it on your way. Guys, this detective says Pauline was trying to get home to her family in Virginia. Well, duh.
He's taking her there.
Duh. Where are they getting ready to go to? The baggage was packed. Her luggage was packed. Detective Parsons just said, well, the other story is that she was trying to get home to her family in Virginia.
That's hearsay.
Buford had told the barber the day before, we're going to see the in-laws in the morning, going to Virginia.
Yeah.
What do you mean trying to get home to her family in Virginia? That's where Buford's taking her the next morning. Then they were going to go from Virginia on to Florida on vacation. But first they was going to visit her family. Wow. You can see why I was so upset the other day?
Law, this makes me want to cry. Literally.
Dirty.
So that she could escape that situation. So that's another flip side of that same coin.
Stop.
That says
I'm sorry, guys, to stop it. That's just what we do. That's another flip side to that same story. That's not a flip side. Buford is taking her to Virginia to see her mom and dad. She's not trying to escape to go nowhere. He's actually taking her to visit.
They're actually going on vacation.
Go ahead, Punk. I'll try to.
They were going on vacation and everything was happy and they're all, but then she's trying to get out of that controlling situation.
Now, I never heard that.
no.
That she's trying to get back to her family.
I've never heard that. Listen to Phyllis.
Good for you.
Listen to Phyllis. I've never heard that.
Wow.
I've never heard that. But she's trying to get out of this controlling situation.
Wow.
Guys, they've been married 59, 69 would have been 10 years, 8 years.
8.
Been married 8 years, almost 9 years. It's August, December would have been 9 years. Listen how he can shovel it on. Just keep shoveling it. Go ahead, Punk.
Pauline I think she could have easily, Buford, I think, would have drove her down here. If he wanted to get rid of her, I believe in my soul that
Good for you.
that he would have just run her off.
Stop. He would have just run her home. I believe in my soul he would have just run her home. He was taking her home. He was taking her to visit her family.
Yes.
He told the barber, we got to go visit the in-laws every now and then. He didn't say, yeah, I'm taking Pauline home. I'm going to leave her up there. We're going to split up for a while. He didn't say that. Going to Virginia, going to Florida.
Going on vacation.
Taking the kids on vacation, all 3 of them.
Wow.
Guys, if y'all don't see the deceit, in my opinion, I'll throw my opinion in there, but it's not hard to see. It's sad. It's very sad. I told you, I think the TBI has lost their way, at least the director and these agents, and even the prosecutor's office. That's my opinion. They've lost their way. When you listen to this and you look at the evidence, this is just a second tape. This is just a second one. We've not went to Mr. Howes yet.
No.
We've not went to Mr. Abernathy's yet. We're getting all kinds of calls and saying, listen to this one, listen to that one. Here, I'm sending you another one. We can't listen to them that fast. We've been on this video for almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
Off and on between my back spasming and
Yeah. And so we'll split this one up.
Oh, this will be split up into at least 4 parts.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we got left, maybe 5. Let's
Possibly
get
5.
moving.
Or Carl and Helen would run her off.
And yeah, and that's a possibility.
I don't know that.
It's hard to understand though what's going through. You know, it would love, and I'm sure y'all would too, love to be able to ask Pauline these questions. But you know, the pressure she's under, she's definitely verbally abused by Carl.
Oh yeah.
How does he know that?
The pressure
Was he
she's
there?
under. And she's already abused by Carl already. Well, if Griffon knew that she was abused by Carl, shame on him for not standing up for his little sister. Shame on him if he
Mm.
didn't stand up. But I think he got fooled into that. I think that was just something he commented about earlier when the detectives were asking him and he was trying to come up with something for them. Who knows? Either way, he didn't stand up for her neither. If
No.
that's true, Mr. Mullins didn't stand up for his own sister, just like Barbara and Shirley when they supposedly heard them arguing in the parking lot of that honky tonk. Could have saved her life. Ain't it funny how all these people knows all this stuff, heard all this stuff, seen all this stuff, thought all this stuff, but nobody cared enough to stand up for old Pauline. Wasn't important enough until 58 years later when the TBI decides to, let's hold a press conference. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't really, you know, Buford is known to have lots of girlfriends, and you know, you got to understand she's got children, small children, so she's probably facing pressures. It's not an easy decision. She could up and leave, and Buford would carry her, but part of that might be her personal pride. Like, is she admitting that this is another failed marriage if she just up and leaves? You know,
Right.
so a lot of those things are possible that are going through her mind.
It's very possible, you know.
And those, like Joe said earlier, those may be some of the questions that we never get answered.
Stop. I got a comment, guys. You're some sorry TBI agents. You're some sorry law enforcement. That's from one to another one. I'll just be honest with you. And if there's a police officer out there that disagrees, please put it in the comments. I can take it. If you think these are good, honest, law-abiding, high integrity, high character officers, please put it in the comments. If you think they're trying to persuade this almost 90-year-old man and woman to follow them down this rabbit hole, put it in the comments. I don't care either way. I'm still going to have my opinion. You're not going to change my mind. Maybe in another 20 years when I get Mr. Mullins's age and 4 of you come to the house and sit down, I might change my mind when I see the intimidation factor and
Yeah.
but right now, I'm not changing my mind.
Yeah,
Because
that
Nobody knows for sure.
I think she could have went with her friend Petey Plunkett, brought her down, came down with her before. I think she could have, if she wanted to leave, she just told her, pack her bags and take me to Kentucky. Or take.
Stop. Listen to that, guys. He's trying his best, Mr. Mullins is, to convince them that he doesn't think Buford done anything. She could have got her friend, LaVon, to brought her down to his house. She would have taken her wherever she wanted to go. He just don't see that happening, he said. Let's see what happens.
Good for him.
Me to Virginia.
You guys don't happen to have any pictures of her when she was young, do you? Close by.
Not real young, do we, honey?
Well, I mean, at the time when she was, you know, in
Now, stop
her
it.
teens or
Now, this is where we conquer and divide and conquer.
Okay.
Because when she goes to look for pictures, the prosecutor's agent there, assistant DA, will go with her. And then you'll hear them from here on out talking in the background, can barely hear either one of the parties for talking over the other. And then that's when this is their plan, in my opinion, when they divide them up. And then that's when they start asking Mr. Mullins to dig Pauline up. Let's see what happens.
we've never
Yeah,
seen
I-
other than
I got
I'm
the,
shocking you as I'm helping you up.
I've got the old age hip, joints.
Here, you want to sit right there?
No,
No, you're good.
Now, these is some pictures that I don't know who all is in here, but these are some that come from Griff's brother after he died. There's Dewana and Madison
Dwana
and
took
Latoya.
a ton of my good pictures.
Now, Madison and Toy are Dewana's daughters, right?
Yes.
And I think it's fair to say they don't keep in touch with y'all, or do they?
Who?
Toya, well,
Madison.
One of them's kind of out there from pillar to post, I think, too, right?
Madison and Tori.
One of Dewana's daughters is maybe
Toya's got 2 kids.
not the best of company.
Toya's got 2 kids, right?
Toya
Madison may be
does,
the one
yeah,
that's out in
yeah.
Texas. I think.
Sorry, I got heartburn.
Yeah, oh,
And I got
Okay.
this. Talk about Madison and Tori.
yeah.
Don't stay in touch.
Do you want me to pause this or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead.
All righty.
She's okay. The other daughter, Toya, I
And
think's the one
this
that
is
might be.
Griff's sister
on
that
some hard
passed away
times.
in August.
she's
and
on
that's my
terrible
two
hard
friends.
time.
So
Last
The
time
rest
I
of
went
her
there,
is all-
I'm sorry.
Restroom.
Yes, sir, on the right.
hand side.
See, they're in there talking.
Oh, one guy's going to the restroom.
Well,
Let's take a picture of that. That's a good.
You got.
Yeah.
You got to get it. Yeah, if you don't mind us taking.
I've
This
never
is,
seen that picture of
Griff's
her.
cousin, and that's Pauline
take pictures of it.
in Virginia.
Just like, look like mountains
Yeah,
out there.
in Virginia.
So
These
getting
are some
around,
pictures that
you know, like we
Griff's,
talked
brother
about
had,
answers to questions that we may
when,
never be able to answer.
and then he passed away.
There is a way, and part of the reason for coming up here is I'll just, Joe, you chime in, is I'll just shoot straight to the punch. There are some things that we can do
Oh, well, this was
that
when she
will
was still
most
married
definitely
to
answer a lot
Bart.
of questions.
Um,
And
this was made.
when Pauline was
It was
killed,
in Tennessee. I
the
don't
local
know.
county medical examiner
I don't think.
basically did a
I
little
don't know.
report. There were some photographs that were taken of her in the morgue. They never did an autopsy on Pauline. And that's one of the things which has kind of set us back, even in 1967 and now.
Yeah.
Because you probably see, if you've seen some of these shows and you see stuff, people are being
Hayes
exhumed,
and,
because
and,
the
They-
best forensic science is
See, we can get in a show here. See if we can exhume her and find some bullets and match it up. Then we can get on TV. This could be a real good TV show. That's what they were counting on. They were counting on finding some bullets and them matching up to something. They were fishing and it didn't work out.
Wow.
and
laying in that
Matthew,
grave
my
with her.
grandson, and Ryan,
And her
my
body,
grandson,
to us,
was made down to
is
Kansas
considered
at
a
her
piece of
house.
forensic evidence that we could use
This
to
is
hopefully
Griff's brother that
answer some of these
passed away.
questions once and for all.
Uh,
And again, we come here too because
And,
a big part of that is we don't want to do this on our own, because when you start going and exhuming people, that's a big deal for families. However,
this is
they never did an
this is
autopsy.
Kathleen's two
And
children.
in
That's
any
her
homicide
oldest
case
one.
we work with
And,
TBI,
Big deal for the family. Exhuming a body is a big deal for a family,
Hmm.
but yet they don't want to tell the family. You'll hear here in the next one. We're probably on our 4th video.
Yeah.
You'll either hear in this one or the next one, where they decide, let's don't tell nobody else. Just you, Griff.
Wow.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's don't tell Madison. Let's don't tell Eric and Mike. Let's don't tell.
Because they knew they
Diane's-
went before it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's sad.
Tammy, and she's
one of the
passed
first things
away.
we're going to do is do an autopsy.
Now, it was that
That's
probably
Kathy and
prevalent
Clayton.
and during the times that Did
Yes,
they-
yes and no.
Yes.
There was certain criteria that had to be met, but we checked with McNairy County and looked at some other cases,
Now,
and there
there's
were
Kathy when
autopsies
she
done
was
prior to
younger,
this.
and there's her
Is
brother,
that right?
Mike.
Buford
Probably
killed Louise
Louise
Hathcock a
Hathcock.
year
And
prior.
she was autopsied.
They did an autopsy on her.
They looked some of
Oh, really?
Now, guys, what's that?
I thought they couldn't find.
They haven't. That's what I'm going to ask. They're saying that they done an autopsy on Louise Hathcock. Now, did they or didn't you? We don't know. Sheila and I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
for sure. But we have been told that the autopsy diagram, so-called report that Mike Elam and that Barbara
Bivens.
Bibbins had was somebody had made that. Somebody got a form from the hospital, the diagram of a body, and they wrote what they wanted on there and typed it up. Now, is it possible? Of course. Is it practical? Well, yeah, of course. In the last 20 years, with what Mike Elam and people's had going on, it's believable. Well, Mr. Parsons says in his statement in our last video to Tammy and Teresa that he had Louise's. Go ahead, interrupt me anytime.
He had the autopsy.
Autopsy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said. Now, he just said again that we've got that autopsy. Now, our question is, once again, where did they get that autopsy? So-called autopsy. Where did they get it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it authentic? Did they get it from the Tennessee Vital Records Department, Tennessee Office of Vital Statistics, where birth certificates and death certificates and autopsies, things like that are stored? Did they get it from the McNairy County Coroner's Office or McNairy County Court? Where did they get that from? Did they get it from Mike Elam? Did Mr. Parsons get that autopsy for Louise Hathcock from Dennis Hathcock? We don't know. We don't know. We know that they say it's in the report, but who put it in the report? Where did it come from in the report? Because, see, Sheila and I learned during the Hatfield McCoy investigations that we do, we like to go to the courthouse. They'd say, we found this or we got that. We'd say, where'd you get it from? Well, my aunt gave it to me. My dog showed up with it. Tell us the courthouse you got it out of. Frankfurt,
Book so-and-so.
Charleston,
so-and-so.
wherever we went. Yeah, what book, what page, what?
Mhm.
And Sheila and I would go to that courthouse, whatever state it was in, and we would go to that page and book, and we would see if we could get a copy of it, original, that we could get a copy of right out of the 1800s book. Now, did Mr. Parsons been the detective that he is of 30 years, well seasoned, well experienced, and educated? And I know, I feel you.
Go
Did
ahead.
he go to the clerk's office or vital statistics? Did he go to Nashville or Memphis or wherever and get Louise Cox's autopsy? We'd like to know that, guys. Is there a stamp on his copy? Is there a stamp that says vital statistics so we can go there? We want to go wherever he got his copy from. Wherever he got his copy that he put in this file, we want to go there and get us a copy of it. Whether it's McNairy County. McNairy County says they don't have it. McNairy County Courthouse, McNairy County Coroner's Office, they don't have it. Tennessee statistics say they don't have it, that during that time, vital statistics didn't send their autopsies to Nashville or Memphis, wherever it was at. I think it's Nashville. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but where did Mr. Parsons get this copy of this Louise Hathcock's autopsy at?
Good point.
We'll leave it at that. Put it in the comments.
Please.
One of the questions we can't figure out is
Why did they
Why
do
would
one
they-
on-
why did they not do one on Pauline, the
Exactly.
wife who was murdered of a sitting sheriff, but
You
yet the
know,
one he killed a year earlier, they did an
That,
autopsy.
that makes you,
So that tells us, was there a reason for that?
is there exactly, absolutely.
So we wanted to come to you, number one, number two, just to meet you face to face and just show you that, look, we are serious when we're in. Our mission statement with TBI is that,
Stop.
that innocent,
Our mission statement at the TBI is, he can't remember it. He can't remember 30 years with the TBI. He can't remember the mission statement. The other officer here, I think, joins in and helps him along the way. Wow.
Here we go.
That guilt shall not
That's her sister.
suffer, and it shall not,
They do.
correct me if I'm,
And then
that
both
guilt
of
shall
them
not
all
escape
did
the
it,
winners
and
that
that's-
suffer.
that's
Yeah, there
her
you go.
sister.
What?
Stop it. There you go. Guilt should not escape or something. But I'm not a TBI. You wouldn't expect me to know it.
No.
The other agent had to step in after 30 years as a TBI agent. The other officer stepped in and helped him with the motto of the TBI.
And for 56 years, innocence has suffered with Pauline.
Right.
And justice has escaped her and you and Phyllis and your entire family.
She'll
So
work the tea.
part of us coming here is to
Huh?
talk to you about the possibility
No,
that we have the means and the forensic science
Things
and
have
the medical
changed.
science that have changed in 56 years, that with an exhumation and autopsy.
We have the means and the forensic science. But he forgets to tell Mr. Mullins because they're playing on his sympathy now. Now they're saying we're here for you and your family and Phyllis and the entire Mullins family. We're here for you. And we've got forensic science. He forgot to tell them that. We've lost the shell casings. We've lost the bullets. We've lost her clothing. We've lost her shoes. We've lost her blood samples. We've lost everything we had. But we've got some tremendous forensic science. We'd like to dig Pauline up and compare it to it. Oh, wait, we don't have nothing to compare it to. I forgot.
We can get answers
We
that
can
we
get
can't
answers.
get.
I would love that. I would love
Are
that.
you on board? If
Yes,
would
sir.
you sign a form?
This is Griff's cousin.
So what I did
and
in
that's
preparation to come up here,
Pauline,
not knowing, and I didn't really approach you
and
this on
that's
the phone
been
because
in
this is not a
Virginia,
topic
and how
out of
many
respect for
years
you and your
ago, I
family.
don't know.
Right.
I didn't
A
want to
lot
talk to
of
you about
these
this on
pictures
camera.
comes from, Griffon
So
and
this
Mom.
is an order.
See how you can't hear, guys? See how you got the lady from the, I think that's one of the ladies that interviewed the lady that said, we're just girls here talking. We're just a bunch of girls here talking. Hear them over there in the background? That's planned. That's divide and conquer. This is nothing that's unusual in police work. I'm not going to say that that it is. I'm not going to say that when you're interrogating people. But see, this is not an interrogation. This is a sales ploy. This was nothing but a salesman trying to sell an insurance policy, trying to sell a pair of shoes, trying to sell a car. You're not interrogating this guy. He's not committed a crime. He's not done anything wrong. You're there to get something from him. You're there to get that signature. You're there to persuade him that he's doing a good deed by allowing you to dig up his sister and the grandchildren's grandmother, two of which has two of their parents laid on top of her in the grave that he don't know about. Now, he says he's the glue that holds his family together, him and his wife. They're the glue, and she says we've kept them all at one time or another and all that. That family is so close that Mr. Mullins and Phyllis, Griffon and Phyllis, don't know that Mike and Diane are buried on top of Pauline Pusser. They're so close. That's her next of kin, and they're so close to each other. But somebody forgot to tell them that, hey, aunt and uncle, we're so close to you. We just thought you'd like to know that our moms and dads buried on top of grandma. They don't even know that, guys. They don't know that. And contrary to what they just told everybody on this video, that they get along and they took care of them and they raised them and they done this, they done that, that's false. That's not true. That's not true. If everything was so great, they want to talk about Diane leaving Helen and leaving Carl and leaving Buford. They want to talk about that. Then what's the excuse for Diane leaving them? What's the excuse for Mike not wanting nothing to do with them? What's the excuse for John not even giving as much as giving them his phone number where they can contact him? I ain't going to beat a dead horse, guys. You're pretty knowledgeable out there. Let's finish.
That it's not signed. My name and your name will be the only ones on there. If you agree,
Yeah, no, I would, I would like very much to
Yeah,
get,
she's beautiful.
if it's possible,
If I have
through
to,
the science.
say it
Yes,
myself,
hell
yeah,
yes,
it's
I'm
not-
for it 100%.
And again, with an autopsy, us
I'm
looking
sorry,
kind
I
of,
keep.
No, honey, it's your
Open-minded.
house. You sit down
Yes,
right
again,
here.
we're-
I could have
gonna be where the
hollered
truth's
and
at,
just
right?
told you to pay
This is
the
one
And
way
he would have done it too.
that we
I
can
promise.
corroborate
That's my oldest,
Buford's
my
statements.
youngest
We have
daughter.
his statements that he
And
gave to
certain
TBI agents in
times, she looks
1967.
just exactly like
So
my
with
niece.
medical
He just said we have Buford's statements that he gave to the TBI agents in 1967. Guys, that's not true. In my opinion, that's not true. They've got a statement that Warren Jones or Mike Elam or somebody has wrote up probably after 1974, I would imagine. I would say sometime after Buford Pusser died and they're playing around on their typewriter, or if it's a modern day, you can even use a computer with just Google 1960s typewriter font. 1960s typewriter font. I forget what it's called, but there'll be 3 sets comes up, 3 different typesets. He's telling them that they're going to compare Buford's statement along with what happened. Buford Pusser does not have a statement. Guys, if he did have a statement, it would be signed. If he did have a statement, they wouldn't have it because the 1967, the original file was lost. It was lost. 1983, they're looking for the file. 2023 to 2025. Look at volume 1. That's all I've looked at, table of contents, Sheila and I.
Mm-hmm.
18 times in the table of contents on volume 1. They're in Nashville, Johnson City, Sumner, Jackson, Memphis. They are at every courthouse, every TBI office in the state of Tennessee trying to find the evidence and the missing file. How can they sit there and tell him that they've got Buford's statement from the original file? Well, I guess they can tell him that, but just because they say it doesn't make it true.
forensic science, if we examine her and do an
You do.
autopsy,
You do.
we can confirm
She
it and we
can
can rule him out as a subject.
She's
And there's
the
always
nurse
been these
practitioner.
lingering
She's the
questions
one
that,
that's got the
is he
cancer,
responsible?
breast cancer.
Exactly.
And
With an
then
autopsy,
she's
we can
fine.
definitively,
3 years
He's not-
difference between them, and she's
Knows
Or
he may be.
Maybe.
So you need to know both sides of the coin. That, but if you're like us, hey, wherever the truth lies. But the main thing, the common denominator in all this,
really.
is it's about Pauline.
Exactly.
It's not about
Loves
Buford.
the medical
She was
profession.
Oh
murdered.
yeah, well I tell you,
Exactly.
She didn't have a
chance.
chance. She was
Oh, yeah.
murdered, and nobody should ever
If we get sick,
lose
they'll
their
say,
lives
well,
in the fashion and manner that she did.
now don't go to this
Exactly.
doctor.
Exactly.
Don't go to that doctor.
Justice system has essentially failed you and your family all these years because an autopsy should.
The justice system in the state of Tennessee has failed Tennesseans. That's my opinion. The justice investigators, the Department of Tennessee, the Department of Investigations, the TBI, Bureau of Investigations, has failed. Guys, I don't think you ever be trustworthy again.
Mhm.
I don't think you're redeemable. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. I'm just talking. Who am I? 40-year retired police officer. But in those 40 years, I've seen a lot of things. And that's the reason Buford Pusser case means so much to Sheila and I. I don't think the TBI will ever be what the TBI may have once been. I really don't. I could be wrong. I'm wrong on a lot of things. Maybe not everybody will be as outspoken and say it like Fred, but there's going to be people when the TBI comes to work a case that they're going to say, hey, send me the highway patrol. Or, hey, send me the Adamsville Police Department or McNairy County Sheriff's Department. I don't want the TBI. I've saw enough of the TBI during the Buford Pusser case to know that I don't want nothing to do with the TBI, and I don't want nothing to do with Mark Davison's Attorney General's office as long as he's in charge. That would be I don't live in Tennessee. I don't have to worry about it. Go ahead and finish, babe. This is going to go into 5 anyway.
Yep.
And that would have probably answered all the questions we have now in 1967.
And I agree.
Well,
no, I thought-
Back then,
And that means,
in McNair County, Carl Pusser, I think, and had enough pull and knew enough people that said no, that no autopsy would be done.
And it may have very well come down to Buford and Carl made that
The
decision.
first time I
Oh,
seen
yeah,
her
absolutely.
You know, and I think that may be where
was
you're.
when she
Yeah,
was in the
I
hospital.
would believe that.
So again, this is just a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. I'd be glad to read that and
He said it may come down to Carl and Buford made that decision not to have an autopsy. Look how they can write stuff in the history, guys, or say things. Do you really think that the McNairy County coroner, Dr. Peeler, didn't have a say in it? You know, a coroner is one of the most high positions of authority there is in a county. A coroner holds a lot of power and authority, and especially a physician. I'll tell you how much authority a physician holds. Dr. Michael Reveal opines. Dr. Michael Reveal changed history with his opinion. Nothing more than an opinion. He changed history because he says that his opinion is that Pauline was killed outside the car and moved inside the car. That's his opinion. One doctor, one opinion, and then they have one police officer, one expert witnesses. Now, these guys get paid. They're paid by the state for their opinions, for their conclusions, which is an opinion, an expert opinion, I might add. And another one says that he opines that the scene was staged. The only scene that was staged on New Hope Road or in that area around there was the scene where they set up a Cadillac and a tripod and shot some of them jail dummies through the door. That's the only staged scene that there is provable out there. Two people gives their opinions, and we do all this.
everything to you. But what I will read to you here is basically it says, I, Griffon Mullins, do I have your name spelled right?
Yes, sir.
Griffon
Yeah.
Mullins,
Yeah.
being the next of kin to Pauline Mullins Pusser, hereby declare that I have been advised of the proceedings herein stated, and I hereby consent to have the body of my sister, Pauline Mullins Pusser, exhumed and an autopsy be conducted to determine the cause and manner of death and the exact origin and extent of her injuries, since an autopsy was never performed.
Real pretty.
And if you
Anyway,
are willing to sign that, I'll,
I love you guys doing your work.
and we're definitely gonna keep you, and I've got your number, you got mine, and I hope you've stored that in your phone.
Her hair was blonde. She had dyed her hair blonde, and she didn't even.
And if you
look
will,
like this.
right under your
She
name,
did
not
even
on top of
look
your name,
like
but right
the
under your
same
name,
lady,
if you'll
and I
put
thought she was
the
prettiest
date,
thing
and it's
I ever looked at.
11/28,
I thought, my goodness.
2023,
Can anybody change from, you know?
and the time is 12:06 p.m.
Yeah,
That's when y'all drove down to Tennessee, how long did it take?
about 5 hours.
And again,
Y'all
that's,
drive up?
No.
we're gonna keep you in the loop
You don't
on
know
it.
how I appreciate
No,
you guys
not
doing
well.
I
roads
just,
are a
one
lot
reason
better
too
now
is,
than they
is
used to be. I don't
essentially
know how
you're
long
kind of
it
like
used to take us.
the
Maybe
patriarch of the family.
maybe
And you're the glue that's kind of held the family
6 hours or
together
so, but
through all these
they
years and losing
did a lot of
Pauline.
work on
That-
the
that's-
roads.
that-
Don't know how the rest of the
I feel
family
better
would
now,
react,
yeah.
but,
So,
you know,
I'm
we came to you for a reason.
ORE.
And, again, you got my
Wow.
We came to you for a reason, he said.
She's
What was the
weakest-
reason?
He's the weakest link.
Because you're the weakest link, Mr. Mullins. You were the weakest link, sir. They used you, in my opinion.
Sorry.
They came to you because you were the weakest link, and they convinced you, not
Wow.
without a little bit of difficulty there. You tried to stand your ground and tell, but you didn't have a chance. Not against 4. You didn't. But now, Mr. Griffin, in a minute, Let's go. And I think we get to see the real Griffon Mullins.
Really?
I think we get to see the real. It'll probably be in the next video, but we're going to get to see the real Griffon Mullins as they get ready to leave here. I think people will be surprised
Right.
at this charming elderly person.
Number.
Well,
I'm gonna stay in I'm not gonna wear you out. I'm not gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna
No,
bug you to death, but
I don't need you no more.
Mm-mm.
Believe
That
me, you don't.
out of respect, I will tell
Yeah,
you, so
that was
this
major.
process, what will happen,
yeah, that was that was,
what we do
Pauline.
now is me and the district attorney will go before a
Yeah,
chancery court judge.
well, look at
And the
you.
chancery court judge will review the order, and if he agrees,
This
based
was
on
made
your
in
signature,
Virginia
because
at the Hill
with the
Farm.
family saying they agree to it,
You man, I promise.
the judge will sign it, and then
better
that
be.
starts the ball rolling to where we go to the funeral home.
Don't have any
We
idea.
serve them with the order, we get the plot,
That
the
was
grave
probably-
information, they contract the
I've
grave
seen
diggers
pictures of
that will
Pauline with
come
blonde
and,
hair like that.
Yeah, well,
distance
I
her,
just tell her
Pauline,
for the first time I seen her
and then
was
they
in
will
the
also be
hospital.
responsible for the reinterment.
She was sick.
That's gonna
And
be a
they called
family
and
decision
said
that you're gonna
if
have
we
to be
wanted
involved
see
in
her,
because
she's in bad shape. We wanted to
she's
see
been
her.
buried in that
Come
same
on
spot
down. So
for
Griffin and I
56
went
years.
to Tennessee,
Right.
she
And
was in the
at some point in
hospital.
time, we'll have to have some communication between you and the funeral
She
home.
was blonde,
You know what I'm saying?
gained
Because
some weight,
do you and Miss
and
Phyllis want to come
dressed,
down
always dressed
when she's
immaculately
put back in the ground?
to me.
when
You
she's
know, of
reinterred?
course, I was raised in the country.
And out of
the
respect,
exact
when we have
dresses,
this
so
date,
anyway, I thought that was
we've done these
on the
cases
high
before in
end
years
a little
past.
bit.
We've
Put
had
that
to-
back on
some
Madison.
other people.
Pause it there.
And
Nah, don't call me about the reinterment. Just put that on Madison. Let her be responsible getting her grandmother a dress and a new casket. And I just want you to dig her up. I don't need nothing else.
It's sad.
It's a sad situation. I feel sorry because first of all, he's elderly.
Yes.
You got to realize he's elderly. He just got used, but you're going to hear in a minute how he can stand up for himself.
Really?
And if he can stand up, you feel sorry for him for a minute. And that's what got me when I left the other day and went over to the lake and just walked around because I thought how you can be even fooled by elderly or anybody. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
those cases have been successful. But we've also
This
given the
was
family
65 or 66.
that if you want to
Yeah.
be present,
Reason
we
I was
can't
born
have you like up in
65,
the
I've
middle
got
of it
pictures on it.
because there's heavy
And
equipment
you
there.
can tell,
Right.
You know, but
the pictures
but
I
if
saw
you
was
want to
the
be
baby.
present,
That's exactly the same.
We'll step in there
That's
when we
that's
talk,
Pauline
let them
right
talk.
there.
well,
I know, so I said,
we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because Griffin and I
you
married
and
in
Miss Phyllis talked that
64.
over.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna, when this happens,
65.
I
Yeah.
call you and
Yeah.
say, hey, look, the judge just signed the order.
Yeah.
We're on our way to the funeral home.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
they
I
did.
never
They
did,
look
I
at
never
it.
did even look.
And
They
then
did.
you'll have some
Pictures
time.
I have from that. You can
What
see
we
the
would
date
hope
they
is
were
that
born.
Huh.
Miss Phyllis
Yeah,
will talk to
that's
anybody
something.
else
Right.
about that
No,
outside
Now
here.
I know.
Because you understand the magnitude of
Yes,
this
that-
particular case.
It won't go nowhere.
But you will have, if you want to be present when that happens, you and Miss Phyllis can talk and work that out. But we'll give you the opportunity to be present.
See how we feel on our health wise and.
Yeah, that's fine, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep you in the loop all the
Okay,
way.
yeah, I
Because what
appreciate
the
it.
process, what will happen is if she's exhumed, the medical examiner's office will be there and be present, and then she will be
Transferred
loaded,
to Memphis.
transferred into their vehicle, transferred straight to the medical examiner's office in Shelby County, where an autopsy will be performed,
Okay.
because one was never performed.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew that,
I did not know that.
but no, there was
No,
never an
I
autopsy.
did not know that either. Are you talking about Pauline?
Yeah, they did do an autopsy.
So she didn't even know.
Never did one.
They had them separated.
And that's one of the main reasons we're here today too, is I've already talked to Mr. Griffin, is that, the family's in agreement with the state of Tennessee that she was murdered, and like any other
Unattended death.
unattended death,
Autopsy
homicide victim, an
required.
autopsy would be performed.
Yeah.
It's not
and-
even a close call. It's a given. But this one wasn't.
And there's some of those reasons to this day that we still don't know.
Don't know why.
But what we can do is we can't control the sins of the past, but we can control now.
So many reasons that they don't know why there was no autopsy back in 1967, guys. Well, the same reason as what they found out in 2024. That was that she was 33 years old. She was shot in the head multiple times
By
and she's
Hobble.
dead. Yeah. Well, they come up with the high velocity.
Okay.
They did come up with she was shot with a high velocity.
Mhm.
Now they're saying a 30 caliber M1.
Yeah.
30 caliber M1 won't go through and through. It goes in the skull and stays. If you'll watch them dummies, the reenactment they done, that's one thing they did prove, that those bullets was not exiting the head. She was shot with a 30-06 and it went through and through her head.
And she only had caffeine.
There was
in
no
her
reason
system.
for an autopsy. She was shot in the head and she's dead. Somebody shot her. She didn't kill
Mhm.
herself. And like Sheila said, she had caffeine. She wasn't laying out drunk all night with Levon.
Right.
Like the Mike Elam says that Levon told her. That's not true. Mike didn't tell the truth there, because Sheila, which is P.D. Plunk's daughter, Levon's daughter, which is Ricky Plunk's sister, says that her mother was home with her and Ricky that night. She was not out drinking, bar hopping, or anything else. Another thing that proves that is Pauline had what baby in her system?
Caffeine.
Caffeine. Her and Buford were drinking a cup of coffee when she was assassinated.
Yep.
And Buford's jaw was blown off. Coffee in her system. She had a fractured nose, a well-healed fractured nose at some point in her life. They did all this, and they took all them pictures for the newspaper with the big trucks out there and digging her up, making a big deal. And there's all your detectives standing there. They all made history. They're standing there. What a picture. What a picture to show. I don't know where it's at. We've got one somewhere, and it is. I've got pictures where I'm standing there with bulldozers going over top, had cadaver dogs, and another one where a guy was buried in a garbage dump. And it's exciting as a detective, as a police officer, to work on cases like this. It's exciting, especially when you able to find a body or when you're able to nail somebody. This was not Buford Pusser. This was an ambush. There's no evidence Buford Pusser done anything. Will never be no evidence that he done anything. You could never prove Buford Pusser done anything to Pauline.
Right. It didn't change the outcome to me because it's still the same. Because
Well, it didn't
they
change
proved
nothing. They didn't find nothing. They had her body.
Exactly.
And Griffon didn't even come to when she was reburied. He didn't even come to see his sister reburied, much less the first time, but not even the second. He didn't help buy the dress, didn't help buy a new casket. It was all put on Madison.
Yeah.
And the grandkids after that.
Yeah.
Let's finish this video up. It's definitely going into 5.
It's all right.
And we can make this right and give Pauline her day.
Well, I certainly didn't know that. I thought they had
In
to do
today's
that.
time with TBI, if this case happened, would the state or TBI or the county, would they require now or ask for an autopsy report on? I guess it's probably pretty much done.
If they do the autopsy, which they will generate a report, and it will be given to us. So
All the findings.
And
She
mo-
would
and
be
mostly-
exhumed
And all the
and
findings,
is that
and then we can look at the findings and make determinations. Is the crime itself, is there evidence that can lead us to who's responsible for this crime?
Yeah.
That's what this will determine. And again, what the autopsy can help us with is so many different things.
Oh, yeah.
Trajectory of the bullets. Maybe there's fragments that are in
That were never recovered.
Never
That would have been
recovered.
recovered.
Hey guys, this video is going to be continued from right here, but I did want to make an important note here. Sheila and I did. Look at these papers here. Sheila had posted earlier what was supposed to have been what they love to call this Buford Pusser's statement. Now, if you will go look at Warren Jones's and John Sloan's statements from the past, any other case they've ever worked, even some on Buford, you'll see the letterhead at the top, the title, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. You'll see the date. You'll see reference to so-and-so and case number so-and-so. And at the bottom, you'll see where either John Sloan or Warren Jones has actually signed their statements. Guys, this is the biggest con, one of the biggest cons in the Buford Pusser case. This is not, contrary to what Mike Elam and the TBI wants you to think, this is not my Buford Pusser's statement. Now, I want to show you about deceit. The statement that Sheila posted over in there earlier is the statement that was out originally, the one they were showing everybody. Mike Elam has been passing around for years and years that somebody's simply taken a 1960s typewriter or even typewriter font from the 1960s and wrote this up. Buford said this. Buford done that. Buford, that's not, somebody has sat at their desk and they have simply typed something up. They've had a great imagination and they've taken some truth from the newspapers where Buford got a call to come to the state line. They forget to leave out to come down New Hope Road, because that's in the newspaper from Buford Pusser telling a reporter and PD Plunk telling reporters themselves. Come down New Hope Road, right, baby?
Yeah. Come down New Hope Road and you'll find something interesting. If it's not there, go on to Jordan Hollis.
Exactly.
I'll meet you there.
But you won't see that in this statement. And that's just one little small thing that's here. He talks about grabbing the barrel of the gun. Buford said in one newspaper account that the vehicle beside him was close enough that he could have reached out and grabbed the barrel of the gun. Well, in this so-called statement, it says Buford grabbed the barrel of the gun and wrestled with it. Guys, we're not going to beat a dead horse, but I want to show you some deceit. If you look at the original, the first statement that they ever come up with, whether it's Mike Elam, the TBI, Barber, no matter who it is, somebody has typewritten this up. And that's why they didn't put no signature, because if there was a signature, we could go back and look at another statement of Warren Jones or John Sloan's and compare. We could compare a payroll check. We could compare a tax statement. There's no signature. There's no date. There used to be no letterhead. Look at the bottom right-hand corner of each one of these pages. Bottom right-hand corner, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Somebody has planted the insignia, the seal of the TBI at the bottom right. Now, you can tell it's planted. If you've ever seen the original of this fraudulent document, you would know that there was never a seal there before, but it's not hard to tell here because they've even put the seal over top of some of the typewritten words. You couldn't even read these words. Who would put a seal over top of a written statement and cover up some of the statement? You wouldn't do that. This was processed after the August the 29th, 2025 news conference, and after Sheila and I and many other people have started to question the TBI, Mr. Davison. And once we started questioning it, we started talking about there's no letterhead, there's no signature, there's no date, there's no witness signature, there's no Buford Pusser signature. Next thing you know, all of a sudden on the internet turns up these Buford Pusser's so-called statement with a TBI seal at the bottom right. That's deceit, guys. That's deceitful. Somebody's trying to deceive you. We don't know who it is. I'm sure it'd be easy to find out with the internet like it is, and somebody that's capable of doing research or going through different computers and such. It probably wouldn't be that hard to find out, but the main thing is that it's done it all. If everybody's so confident that Buford Pusser did what they're alleging that they didn't allege, they convicted him. When they stood on that stage and said he murdered his wife, they convicted a dead man on that day.
Yeah.
But if that's true, if you had the evidence and you think it's that true, why would you go back and falsify a so-called statement? Why would you go back and add a TBI insignia or seal? No reason for that.
I agree. Why would, if it was true, then why did they lead the witnesses in the direction they wanted it to go?
Oh, yeah. Guys, we're closing with this video. This video was going to be continued tomorrow with number 5, part 5. You can have watched all 4 videos up to this point. You're not going to be as shocked as you are at what you're going to see in part 5, because we were shocked.
Part 5's a humdinger.
We were shocked. I was so shocked I had to just leave and go walk around a 20-degree weather around a lake to just, because it was so sad at what I seen and heard
Yeah.
And you're trying to fish through this entire, you guys have been watching through these 4 volumes, and you're trying to fish and see what's said and what's leading, what's doesn't adding up, how people's been called down, how they've been redirected, as Sheila says, how seeds
Yeah.
are been planted.
Yeah. They did that throughout with Mr. Griffin.
Oh, sure. And then he would come back, and a few minutes later, he would talk exactly about what they just said.
Well, he tried in parts of this to stand his ground and, hold his own.
He
but
did. He did.
It didn't work.
And that's why at the end of this next video, you got to determine whether he's got some cognitive issues or whether he may not be the man that we thought he was, as he was going through talking about taking care of all of his grandchildren, doing this and doing that. And there's 2 choices. Either he's got some issues or he's not the man that he was pretending to be. That's the 2 choices I came up with. That's my opinion. Stay tuned for part 5, guys. It's going to be interesting. I think you're going to be, each one of these parts has led up to another. Number 1 was not that exciting. Number 2 was more. Number 3 was more. Number 4 is getting really, now they're signing the digger up out of the ground. Number 5, you're going to be flabbergasted.
Yep.
Thanks, guys, for everything. Guys, we're not out there to belittle anybody, belittle any agency, belittle. We think they done that to themselves. All we are here for is to show proof that what they're saying is not true.
Exactly.
What the direction they tried to get everybody to go in is not the direction that they need to go. If they're looking for evidence and proof, they can point you in one direction, but that doesn't. All right, baby, that's all I got.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one. God bless. Bye.